We're just waiting for Zoom to fully start the live stream, and then we're going to dive right in. We have a great business building and sharing webcast for you tonight. Okay, everyone. So we are ready to rock and roll. There's always a 10-second delay, just so you know, because we need to make sure that Zoom is streaming the way we want it to. But tonight we just rocked our first Live It Facebook Live from this actual page, because we're moving it over because we heard that everyone wants to be able to share. So we did kind of like the global presentation we were doing around the world. And tonight's a special one. If you're sharing or building ZPA, but if you're just an entrepreneur, like my amazing co-host is, and myself, we're going to talk about the 3 steps to building your brand. But before we talk about anything, I have to give props to the lady to my left, maybe to your right, depending on how you're looking at it. An amazing health professional, mom, wife, entrepreneur, one of my greatest inspirations, best-selling author, and just the super guru of guru, Renita Brennan. Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks, Mark. Gosh, that's a nice introduction. I should just like play that again and again and again. It just makes my confidence level go up. I'm honored to be here, you guys. We have a lot of exciting things to share with you to build your brand and build Zen Project A. We're fired up.
Exactly. And I'm waiting for my, remember I have, it's coming right here. I have the Facebook Live going on my iPad right here. So it's a live Q&A. So if you have questions, remember, we'll answer the questions. This isn't just Renee and I presenting to you. We want to share cutting edge content that will help you, not just with your Zen Project Data and Jeunesse business, but your brand. You know, how do you take your brand and message to that next level? Now, few updates before we dive into these 3 steps. First one, and I just need to share the power of community because it kind of goes along with what we're talking about tonight. So if I go, hold on one sec, I'm going to share this. So if I go to share my screen, if you look here, I did a Facebook Live today with my buddy Paolo, who I met in Milan. And he is a young gun, and he's got this superstar team. And we did my first ever Zoom Facebook Live translation. So we rocked and rolled, talked about Zen, because now Europe is fully stocked with Zen. It's been shipping. I just got back from Portugal and France. But I just want you to see in 8 hours. So this was 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago. If you look right there on Facebook, we've had 6.2 thousand shares. So 6,200 shares. And I mean, 6,200 views and 296 shares. How powerful is media? Social media, Renita.
So powerful. I mean, I love that. I'm looking at that thinking, that's it. Like, if we're not tapping into social media, we're not tapping in. You got to tap in to grow your brand and your business because people are watching, they're waiting. The marketplace is full of a lot of the wrong message with different types of healthy lifestyles and pills and that, this and that. So we have the right message. That's the permanent solution that people can do with their families. So I always say, I want people to look this way, look this way. That's what I do on social media. I create, look this way. I want to tell you how to do this. I want to tell you what's right, what's wrong, what's working, and how to get your health back. And so, yeah, I love social media.
So this is the invitation I'm giving everyone here. Renita and I did a live stream with Iraq, which is amazing. But right here, follow Paolo, see what he's doing in Italy. He's rocking it with his team. And then understand this, if you can do a result like that, it doesn't have to be 6,200 views in 9 hours or 296 shares, but they promoted it. But if you feel like there's benefit of us to actually start doing one together, I'm open. I'm open to do one that we can actually rock together and come on your show. We'll do a Zoom setup, and then we'll do exactly what we just did with Paolo.
Yeah.
Right, Renita, tell them about our Iraq one. How great was that?
It was unbelievable. First of all, I just got to give props to Arias Arsa. He's amazing. He's just a global entrepreneur and has an amazing team over in Kurdistan, Iraq, Iran, AE, where else? UK. I think they just added Sweden and Germany to the mix, Mark. So a great leader. But what was so amazing is that they literally drove from 3 to 4 hours to this meeting place. They were so pumped. I remember the day of, Arias actually inboxed me and he said, Renita, I have 5 or 6 more people driving from 3 to 4 hours away for the Zoom meeting with Mark McDonald. Can we make it a half hour later? I mean, these people literally came from miles in different countries to come listen to Zen Project 8. They just love it. They love being able to share the message of health. They love the financial opportunity. They love the freedom that the health and the opportunity bring to people, not only in their country, but so many. And so they literally rode that wave of Mark McDonald for days. Like Arias was texting me days later saying, Renita, my team just loved Mark. He's such an inspiration. We're so grateful for the help. And that's what we find, Mark, is these people are so thankful to be partnering with somebody with your expertise and your passion. So yeah, it's an exciting adventure. I tell you guys, hook on when Mark offers that up. That's no small offer you just threw out there, Mark. I know that.
I know, and it's time. And, you know, we talk about the greatest thing in life is time. And that's, but this is us working as what I've seen. I'm more inspired than I've ever been. You know, 15 countries and 5 continents in the past 2 months, plus a lot of Zooms outside of those countries. And what I love, and like tomorrow we're doing one, Daniel and Stefania, that will be German, Italy, and English. So the whole key is this: together we change the world. And it starts with one, and we all have our own role. And that's what tonight's all about. So, you know, look at what Paulo did. If there's somewhere you feel like we can make a difference together and Zoom something together, then let's rock that, because we live in a day and age where we can do anything. And that's the goal of sharing and building, is that you're able to leverage your tools and leverage your partnerships to win. And that leads me to the next thing that I want to share. So if you were just on it, and I'm going to go back to the main Facebook page. For some reason, my iPad's not. So I'm looking at my phone here. You know, I'll say, so if you see me look down, it's not that I'm at my iPad. So it's not coming to me. So I got Kathleen on, we got Angela, we got Gail, we got Kyla. Hello, everyone here. But right here, this is the Zen Project 8 page. And let me go to the Zen Project 8. Go right here to the Facebook page. If you missed it, you want to go to the main Zen Project 8 page. And this page right here, we did where we're live right now. But we did the Live It, which is right here, Achieving Your Health Goals with Zen Project 8. So we just did this. We've already had 627 views, 29 shares. But if someone wants to learn about Zen Project 8, this is the presentation I did. You simply come to this page, you share it, and then they can learn. So if someone says, you know, what's this all about? You have the 5-minute and 40-second video right here that you can share from this page. But a lot of times people want more. They want to know more of the science behind it. They want to see that. So you can simply go to this page, Zen Project, facebook.com/Zen Project 8, and share the live stream that we just did, leveraging the tools to win. It's the global presentation that I've been doing on this tour.
Mark, you know what? I want to just point out that make sure that everybody knows the difference between the group and the page, because the group you have to be accepted into. So we all of my brand new people that are joining Zen Project 8, I always add them to the Zen Project 8 group that has 20,000 members. But the page is so wonderful because anybody can like a page. You don't have to be accepted. You just can like the page. And by us liking the page, we're able to share that video, that powerful video that Mark just put out there, and all of the other great content that's on that page as well. So if you're having a hard time, I've always said, let the tools do the talking, Mark. Let Mark do the talking. Let Mark do the talking, right? So literally, by them liking this page, not joining the group, they should join the group too, right? But liking the page, they can really mass distribute it to their Facebook community that has never been able to see it, because usually those up until just an hour ago have been behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that's the more of the nuts and bolt, where these are entrepreneurial ones for you. Like, so if you have a team that are building, then these type of Facebook Lives are fantastic. But if you have a friend who just wants to get healthy, you know what, they don't want to learn about the entrepreneur stuff. So these become tools that you can share that, as you just said, Renita, you can't share from the group. Now we'll still upload these to the group, so they're still part of the archive. But this becomes a whole nother day to leverage social media. And just that's why I wanted to show you what we did with Paulo today. I wanted to show that. So you're starting to see, because it will go perfect with the 3 steps. Because what you saw in just those 2 examples is that when you get clear on the 3 steps you'll learn tonight, you can maximize it. And then the last thing that I do want to cover before we dive in is we launched last week my new partnership with the Tennis Channel. How does that help you? You know, that's what you want to ask. How does it benefit you? It benefits you in a few ways. The Tennis Channel and tennis.com Their global outreach, and from not just from the U.S., from globally, with French Open, Aussie Open, Wimbledon, U.S. Open, powerful. And then I'm their new health expert, and I'm writing weekly blogs, and we're launching a 5-part video series, and they're teaching PFC every 3. Why is that relevant? Because when you get national, major international players like the Tennis Channel willing to teach PFC everything, that was our first article on how to eat like a tennis champion. For everybody, but PFC works for everybody. Then what? The myth of carb loading. But this week, there's going to be an article that's on how to fuel yourself throughout your competition. And guess what I talk about? ZenFuse and that. So this is the key to understand. These third-party partnerships that are nationally recognized, that's the power of it, because you realize we're mainstream. We're not in the corner, in the shadows, telling something. We're front and center, changing the world globally on how people look at food. And that's what's important to understand, that looking at how you can leverage marketing, how you can see how partnerships work. And immediately you can take your brand and business to another level.
Yeah, Mark, this takes partnership to a whole nother level with you. I'm like, when you start throwing those out, like the French Open and Wimbledon and all those, are you kidding me? It's fitting. This week I'm actually filming on North Dakota Today because I'm the health and fitness expert up here on NBC. I'm filming a tennis workout, and I can't wait to get to my tennis workout instructor to say, oh my gosh, have you seen my friend Mark McDonald? Because these guys are these tennis pros are plugged in, right?
Yes.
I can start name dropping, Mark. I'm so excited to be filming this tennis workout this week.
And then all you have to do is send the article from the tennischannel.com. It's not me saying it. You just go to their website and their Facebook page, and it's right there.
Isn't it incredible? I mean, do you guys understand the power that we have? We got the power. We got to start saying that. I'm so cranked up about that. I'm so appreciative for all that you're doing. I know you are just working and grinding yourself to the bone right now with all these countries. Myself and all the distributors, we truly appreciate what you're doing for us, Mark, and not only for us, but for the world ultimately. So we're great.
And it's all of us. We all do our part, Renita, and that's why I appreciate you taking time every single Monday or Tuesday night to be on this webcast. Okay, so those are the announcements, a little longer than we normally, but it's all part of the vision that we want you to share. So as Renita and I were talking before the show, and remember, my iPad's not loading for some reason, but no worries. I got my phone live right here. So as you say stuff, if you see me look down, I'm looking at the feed coming into my phone. The key is I want you to think about, when Renee and I were talking, where do you sit with your brand? I want you to write down brand, B-R-A-N-D. You are a brand. And if you can accept that and you can understand that, then that's going to allow you to take the message you want to share with the world. Because we all have a message. Now, PFC is a message that many of us share. So you have to keep thinking, but as I share my story and Renita shares her story, 2 different stories, but connected with a similar message. And then we have messages that we drive together, and then we have separate. She's a mom, I'm a dad. So these are all cool things. So the first step, that when you start thinking about your brand, and you just have to announce in your room right now, say it, Renita, with me, I'm a brand. Say it. I'm a brand.
Woo!
Tell yourself. I've been with too many entrepreneurs, and they don't think their message matters, that they matter, that they don't feel like they have enough expertise or that they can make a difference. If you have a story about the life you lived, and you're right now, every single person. My son Hunter is a brand. He's going to start a whole blog series about how to be the best big brother for his little baby daughter. That's a brand, baby sister. That's a brand. So whatever it is, you are a brand. So I want you to say that. Say it one more time, Renita. I'm a brand.
I'm a brand.
There we go. Now, step 1, to own your brand, you must have a message. Now, you guys know my message of PFC every 3, Renita's message, PFC every 3. Renita's actually, I was teaching blood sugar, and I was calling it eating in 3s. And Renita said, we should call it PFC every 3. She's the best rhymer in the world. And then we started calling everything PFC every 3. So just remember, it's a team effort. It's not just one person. And that's the message of blood sugar balance. But Renita's story came in that brought it all together from her point of her challenges before, my challenge before. You guys know my story. As an athlete, watching my mom diet to create a solution, starting back in 1999 to my wife's injury. But my message to the world is that you can take your body wherever you want by understanding the balance of PFC every 3 to balance your blood sugar and not use food to lose weight, but create hormonal balance. And my second message is to show fellow entrepreneurs how to get their time back. Those 2 messages, everything I do, every partnership I make, it's who I am. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a message, what can you do? So your first assignment, and then we're going to hear Renita's message, is that you say, I'm a brand, and then I want you to define the message you want to share with the world. What is that? Now, PFC every 3, ZPA, that could be part of it. But your burning desire. I always love watching, what's that movie with the Johnny Cash movie? What's the name of that? Walking the Line.
Oh, Walking the Line.
Walking the Line. And when Johnny Cash had his audition and he was singing some song he didn't really believe in, and the guy said, "What if this is your last breath? What song are you singing to the world?" So that's the message I want to share with you. What's your message that you need to get into the world? I flew back from France and I was writing my blog for the next thing because inside of me, there's a burning desire to drive a message. And that's the thing about a brand. If you don't have a message, you don't have a brand. If you have a message, you have a brand. Okay, Renita, what's your message?
My message is to teach people how to nourish themselves, and that stands for nutrition with PFC every 3. That's physically, because I think sometimes we abuse ourselves with exercise, which I've done and you've done as well, Mark. And also not just the nutritional and the physical, it's the emotional, the spiritual. I want people to be whole and well because I believe we're raising the next generation of leaders. So a big call out I have is for moms and dads, but especially moms, to say, listen, you don't have to chronically diet. You don't have to count another calorie. You don't have to exercise yourself into craziness. You need to learn how to nourish yourself so you can teach your children how to nourish yourself. And with that, we're raising up the next generation of champions. I mean, that's what I believe, Mark, with all of my heart. And another thing I do is I lead the leaders. So for me, I educate the educators, whether it's on TV, whether it's going out and educating all the teachers, whether it's going in and educating all the fitness instructors. I feel like I'm an educator of educators. I love to teach the leaders how to lead more efficiently, more effectively, and ultimately to make more money and help their clients better. So, whether it's a teacher that I'm teaching about, so many, this year I've got called into so many schools and coaches are calling me to talk PFC, right? So they're not necessarily selling a program, but they are selling an idea. And they're trying to get these kids off of the carb loading and all the crazy things and all the red Powerade and the gross stuff they're throwing in their bodies, and actually trying to empower them to teach them how to eat right for nutritional and for the performance, Mark. So I feel like mine, it starts with moms. It starts with empowering women. Take back the power by believing you can. But then it kind of weaves into families and athletes, because of course we're raising athletes. We're just talking about our kids, and so it's all of it. I love all of it. I just love people nourishing themselves. I'm big into it.
And that's what I love about you, Renita, is that every time I've seen you, North Dakota, every event we do, every time we're on the phone, every time we do a Zoom call, every time it's this, it's who you are.
Yeah.
And that's the key. So tonight, everyone, first off, your first assignment is to just acknowledge that you're a brand. You got to write that down. The second thing is gain clarity of your message. It's great to share concepts and partnerships. Partnerships are amazing. But you have to get clear on what's the burning desire inside of you that you want to share with the world. That's the power of it. And without a message, you can't build a brand or truly be an entrepreneur. So as you have these dreams you want to achieve, I would invite you to do this. Look at everyone that you admire in this world and that you follow in this world and you learn from in this world, and ask yourself this: do they have a brand? Most likely, yes. And then, are you clear on their message? Yes. If you want to be the leader that we know you are as a fellow entrepreneur, you have to do that. Now, the second step, so once you acknowledge your brand and you get clear on your message, and write that down. It doesn't have to be, it can be a paragraph, it can be 2 sentences. What's the difference you want to make in the world? Then you have to have a system. Now, a system can vary. A system can be as simple as, I watch someone on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you heard of the Fascia Blaster, Renita?
Of course.
Yeah. So you know how that started. I just want you guys to see.
She's a phenomenon, that lady. And I don't know if it works. People think it does. Maybe it does. The concept sounds true, but you know what? She's mastered it. Yeah.
Well, and we're not trying to promote other products here. I don't have a Fascia Blaster, but what I want to tell you is if you watch her on Facebook, Ashley Black Guru started just with a simple message of how to help women get rid of cellulite. That was her message. It was that easy. She had no website. She had nothing. She had a message of how to help women get rid of cellulite. She would do like dark videos that had no lighting.
Mark, can I just touch on that? Let me touch on that for a second. The first time I saw one of her videos, I thought, I'm going to be rich. Because because when I watched her video, it was like a dark dungeon. You could barely see her. Like, I mean, she wasn't like in phenomenal shape or something. And I just thought to myself, if this woman has had 3 million views on this dark, dungy video, what if I just put a little light on things? I mean, like, imagine what we could do. It gave me hope as I was building my brand, actually.
100%. And that's the thing. It's not about all the fancy smancy stuff. It's the authenticity to it. And she found a niche. Her message was to help women like herself get rid of cellulite. Whether it works or not, I don't know. So I'm not endorsing this at all. I just want to be clear. I'm giving an example of a brand and a message. Her message became very simple. And the system she used, she didn't have a website. She didn't have great quality videos. So you can't make those as excuses. She used a little smartphone and she started doing videos, sharing, using a system and selling a product. That was what she did. Yeah. And she exploded. And now if you watch her, she's got all these professional videos. But I saw the grassroots movement of it. And that's the message. You need a system. So based upon the message, like what are the systems we do with ZP8? So you think about it. My message, I was a brand. My message was to teach the world about PFC every 3 and help fellow entrepreneurs. Partnered with Jeunesse Global and we launched Zen Project 8. And now we've created numerous systems. You have the phase guides, you have the products, you have the videos, you have the community. So everyone, there's a plug and play model and we keep enhancing the system and it gets better and better. But there's a place to point people that supports the message. If you don't have a system, the message dies with you. I want everyone to understand that. It doesn't have to be a robust system, but you have to know that once you know you're a brand and you have a clear message, how are you actually going to help people understand that message? And that's where the system comes in. Renita, you share about the system.
So I didn't have a system. Like at first, I mean, we know my website was not great. Like Mark's looking at my website. He's like, Renita, like I'm confused. And but the bottom line was, I was like, I need a tighter system because I'm getting asked like 5 to 10 times a day to explain what PFC every 3 is. Yes. And I was like, I don't have enough time or phone time to be able to like talk to all these people. So I created a system. I have pfcevery3.com. I bought that domain name and it was like $15 on GoDaddy. I wasn't like breaking the bank or anything. And I literally filmed a video. It's not like a high quality video, but I filmed a video explaining what PFC every 3 means and blood sugar stabilization. And at the very end of that video, I point to Zen Project 8 to plug into the system. But what it does is when anybody asks me a question in the day, and trust me, I get 5 to 10 a day that are asking me questions just from the outside world. I don't say, well, give me 45 minutes to explain it to you here. Or do you want to do a Zoom meeting? I don't do what Mark's doing right now because I've just pushed back to my system to say, hey, have you watched my video yet on pfcevery3.com? Go ahead and watch the second video on there, and that'll explain what makes this different than anything else you've ever done in your life when it comes to like trying to lose weight.
Yeah, and if you don't have a website like Renita, all you need to do is share that video on Facebook with that. So that's how easy it is. Remember, so you have to keep thinking of the simplicity of everything.
The point, before I made my own video, let me just say this, because I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to the videos. I'm like, just film the video, let's get it done. Like sometimes getting it done is better than it being perfect, because sometimes I think perfection paralyzes a lot of amazing entrepreneurs, right? They feel like they have to be just perfect, and so nothing ever gets done. But before I had my own, I actually pointed to Mark McDonald's video that he had made with the PFC every 3 explaining the homeostasis. And I pointed to anything that he had done, like on CNN or Dr. Oz, when you had explained what blood sugar stabilization. So before I film my own with a camera, I literally just pointed to what you had out there, Mark. And that system alone saved me time, energy, and money, right? Because I was just pointing back to that. So if anybody asked me, boom, I pointed. If anybody asked me, boom, I pointed. And that has been really awesome for me. I probably get 20 to 40 customers a month, Mark, every month, continuously with Zen Project 8, because I can point to that system so quickly, and it does most of the talking. I always tell people, no, if you have a question after you watch those videos, go ahead and text me or message me, and I'll help you answer that question. But Usually the video answers the questions.
100%. And that's the power of it. And that's the message we're sharing with everyone tonight, is that you have to first acknowledge you're a brand and say it with pride. I'm a brand. You then need to know, what is your message? Now, Renee and I have a clear message. So if you know me or Renita, you know our message. So you know where we stand in life. Whether you agree or disagree, at least you know who we are. And if you're watching this, you typically agree with it. But, there's a lot of people who don't. And that's okay. Because we focus on the message we believe in with our heart that we know to be true. And then we create systems. And initially it can be as simple as sharing a video, making your own video in Dungy Light like Ashley Black Guru. It didn't matter. Like, you just got to start somewhere, and then you build out your system. So those are your action items so far. Acknowledge you're a brand. Define your message that you want to share with the world. If there's one thing you have left to share with the world, what is that? And then what is the one or two tools or system that you can refer to support that message? So Hunter had a swim meet today. Before the webcast, I went to the swim meet. Let's say I was talking to one of the parents. I didn't, but this is an analogy. Wherever you go, and imagine someone said, hey, Mark, what do you do? What's my message I'm going to share with them? And then, oh, that sounds amazing. I would love to learn about PSC Area 3. Where do I go find out more about it? Where am I sending them? This is what you got to keep thinking. What's the message you're going to share with people to show who you are? And then where are you sending them? Because I don't have a job. I don't work. This is who I am. I live what I teach. It's become part of me. It's become part of my wife, Abby. It's part of Hunter. It's part of Hope. We live a life to make impact in the world. And that's what an entrepreneur does. We don't work. We create strategies, and we create a difference in the world. And we should mention this. I don't have a storefront. You don't have a storefront. Yep.
Exactly. We don't have bricks and mortar. So for us,
I got rid of those long ago.
Those were a headache for us, right? But and not everybody's there. Some people really appreciate that storefront. They love their gym. I mean, we got a couple people recently that are gym owners, and they own CrossFit gyms and stuff like that. And they want to rock Zen Project 8 because they were looking for that plug and go nutritional system that could permanently help people with their lives, right? And so we're thankful for those people. But it's amazing how, here's what I was going to say when you were talking. You got to figure out who you are, and you got to believe it more than anybody else believes it, because here's the deal. Some people are going to hate your message. Every day I get haters, but what I realize is people are going to hate you if you're cute. They're going to hate you if you're ugly. They're going to hate you if you're thin. They're going to hate you if you're overweight. Like, everybody, there's just haters in the world. Yeah. So I don't really focus on them, because I heard from a speaker a long time ago, 20% of your audience doesn't even like you. So I'm not looking at that 20%. I'm looking at the 80% who is searching and seeking and literally praying for what I have to offer. And then I just deliver that in a loving, caring way, because I honestly do care about people's results. Like, I want them to win with their health. I want them to nourish their bodies, because I didn't for so long, and they can. And so I feel like you just kind of have to put those, like when they run those race horses and they have those things on them, Mark, those blinders. Sometimes when you're developing your brand, you guys, you got to put those things on, like the race horses, and you got to go, because if not, you'll be distracted, because everyone's going to have an opinion, and everyone's going to say, well, whatever. And if you believe it with all of your being, the biggest person that needs to believe it is yourself. And once you believe it yourself, the world will want to listen to you.
Yeah. And the funny thing is this, when you were saying about people saying like naysayers. Yeah. I got a couple examples for that. So I was in France. I was in Portugal. In France, no one really knew who Dr. Oz was. Like, think about how big Dr. Oz is. And then think about like when, and all the feedback that he gets negative. But I was just, the Tennis Channel, my thing about carb loading, they posted on their social media, got great action. And then I went to look at it to answer a question that someone asked, and I saw two other questions. And the lady said, who's this guy? I'm not going to listen to him. And then another person said, well, Martiva Navratilova used carb loading when she played, even though it was in the 80s. So like, you just have to understand that there's going to be people who aren't going to agree with you, and you have to own your message, have your system. And then the last thing is this, Renita, and I know we love this so much, is culture.
Oh yeah. Come on.
I just want everyone to think about it. I just want to shout out for Kyle Boyer. Kyle said, looks like I have some homework for the rest of the week. I am a brand. I love you, Kyle.
Yeah, He is a brand. That guy wore a PFC plate on Halloween through Shields All Sports. He had the proteins and the fats and the carbs attached. I mean, that is going to be a Halloween costume, Mark.
That's a costume that we're creating. Kyle, you're going to get the rights to it, baby. We got to start marketing that now. But Kyle, go buy PFC costume right now. Go buy it.com.
PFC costume. I love it.
So that's your brand. So you have to know what's the message you want to share with the world that matters. What's your system? And then culture. This is what we have to understand. I see too many people on social media trying to create a culture. And I want to be clear on social media. Having a lot of likes and fans and all that's fantastic. But what you have to really look at is the shares and the interaction that you have, like a community standpoint. Because culture and community is what accelerates your brand. Not just a bunch of people following you occasionally here and there. A great example is Brendon Burchard. I know Renita's a big fan, and I've seen Brendan's massive growth the past 3 years. He's an inspirational coach, and he's built him. He started with Facebook with 100,000 followers. He has now have 5 million, but the 5 million matter because they're active. When Brendan puts something out, people engage immediately. He found a clear message. If you go to his Facebook page, a clear message, a clear system, and then a culture and community. He doesn't worry about the people who naysay him, who don't like him, who say he's too, out there. He focuses on the people who love him and follow him. And that's the thing. Once you know you're a brand, your message is simple. There's 3 steps. You must get clear on your message. You must create a system, and you must focus on the person that your message resonates with. Not the people it doesn't. We're not in the convincing business. No, you are in the vision of showing people that I love. This is the message I'm sharing with the world. I'm not trying to help people. They don't care about it. I want to make a difference with the people who truly want to live their best health. And we have a solution to do that. It's why we partner with Jeunesse. It's why we have Zen Project 8. It's why the program is now in 30 different languages. It's why we're changing the world, because it started with a clear message, a system, and now a culture that we're all part of to actually make a difference. Renita, what about your culture I know you created an incredible culture in North Dakota?
Yeah, I created a huge culture. And part of what I've created is just, I'm really honest with people. I want them to nourish themselves, but I want them to know the truth about health, because I feel like we've been deceived for a very long time with nutrition and fitness. I mean, it's the world in which we live in. Like you talk about in your book, the average American buys 4 diet books a year, right? So I feel like part of what I bring to the table is so much truth sometimes that it even offends people because I'm so truthful. Like I'm just like going to tell it how it is because I don't have a lot of time to monkey around. So when I say it how it is, people are like, she's just crazy with health, right? And so you're going to get that sometimes. But again, that's not who I look at. I look at the ones that, like Mark says, we're making a difference. We're changing lives. And I once heard some great advice, and I'll give it to you guys. I heard this from a mentor of mine, and this guy made like $500,000 a week. And he said to me, Renita, when someone is giving you feedback, he said, ask yourself, take a look at their life and ask yourself if you want your life to look anything like theirs. And let me just give you a prime example. When I'm on the news, this gal said, I'm so sick of this Renita. She's always so happy and she's talking about health. Imagine how miserable someone is that hates somebody that's happy.
That's happy and talks about health.
But then I went and looked, I just briefly, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on the naysayers, I just went and looked at who this woman was. And you know what? She's hurting. Her children are obese. She's obese. And she's hurting. So once I saw who it was coming from, I didn't take any offense to it. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to pray for her because right now she's not ready to receive what I'm saying, but maybe there's a time that she will be. And I'm still going to keep pouring out the love to this woman. And I'm not going to change who I am or the message, my energy that I come with, or the fact that I absolutely am like love and health and talking about it all the time. I'm not going to change that because that's who I am, right? Because I would just believe in that.
To support what you just said is I've toured whenever I tour Europe and then whenever I tour everywhere except for American, because hype a lot of times is considered around the world American. And I hear, the Polish, the Russians, Europeans, South Africans, Australians, they don't like hype. They don't like energy. And I said, that's hogwash. Yeah. I'm not changing who I am. I'm not wearing a suit and tie. It's not who I am. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but there's an energy. If you're authentic with your message and you speak from the heart and you actually get to someone's core of who they are, they love it. We were rocking in Portugal, people jumping up and down like that. And they say, every event I do, they say, oh, Mark, people don't normally act like this. Yeah, it's because we're not hype. We're actually authentic. That's what you have to ask yourself. Is the message authentic? And Renita, I think summing up what you just said, it's the best advice for the whole night, everybody. What Renita said was, when someone gives you feedback, ask yourself, because all feedback's good to a degree, ask yourself, is there anything about their life that I enjoy? Now, you don't want to turn your back on people, but you want to relate to. You must take feedback to stay true. But if you're not clear on who you are as a brand and you're not clear in your message, then you will hear the noise from everybody.
Right.
If you know who you are and you know the systems you believe in and you keep evolving and growing, and then you create a culture of people who follow you, invest in you, believe in you, and a community that will honor you, then you are going to take your business as an entrepreneur wherever you want to, because that's the difference you can make in the world. So Renita, as we wrap up, let me give the action items, and then I want you to wrap up the show.
Okay.
So number one, just like Kyle said, hey, Zeus, tell yourself, Amy Cochran, you're a brand. Acknowledge it. I'm a brand. Second, once you acknowledge that, what is your message? If you have one thing left in this world to make a difference in, what is it that you want to make? Then next step, what's the system? So you go and meet someone and they say, what's the difference you want to make in the world? It's this, and this is how you find out more about it. And then third, what's the culture? Start with 1, start with 2, start with 3. I watched Brendan Burchard. Literally, he started with 1,000 people on Facebook. He now has 5 million over the past 4 years. I saw it grow, and I saw the power of it because he got clear on the culture and who he was speaking to. If you know who you're speaking to, your culture will grow. There's not pressure from anyone else. Right. There's not a competition with anyone else. Get clear on you. Make this the week that you get super clear on how to build your brand. All the rest will take care of itself, but focus on those 3 things, and I guarantee you will start to build the culture that you want. Okay, we need to wrap us up.
Okay, I'll wrap you up. So there's a lot of barking dogs out there. They're everywhere, right? So you do have to be laser focused. So don't ignore all the barking dogs. But I'm so practical because I'm in the field building every single day. I'm just like you guys building my business. So to quantify that for you, when Mark says the system, let me just give you a quick example of what that might look like. Someone asked you about PFC. I would do 2 things. Put this in your system. Number 1, I would send the video that Mark McDonald did tonight, not this video, the one right before it, the Live It video. Say, you know what? You asked a great question. I'm going to share a great video from my mentor and good friend, business partner, Mark McDonald. He's incredible, and he can explain it better than I can. That's the first video I'm going to send you. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly send you a video from my J Mobile app. It links it directly to my Zen Project 8 website. I go to my J Mobile app. I send out video campaign. I send out There's 2 great Mark McDonald Zen Project 8 videos. Pick one of them. Hit the send button to that person. Now, not only do they have the Mark McDonald video where he explains it all, they have your link to enroll. That's a system. I just gave you a system. So you do those 2 things, and you do it every single time anybody asks you about Zen Project 8. And after those 2 things, if you say, hey, if you got more questions, go ahead and text me after you've watched that video, Mark McDonald, and after you've watched that little other video, that quick 2-minute video that explains how to get started. Like, if you have questions after that, just let me know and be happy to help you answer any questions you might have. And then in the meantime, my third number of the thing of the system, what I would do is I'd plug them into the Zen Project 8 Facebook page, the group, not the page, the group. I'd plug them in. That would be my 3-pronged system. You will nail them home every day of the week. You literally set them up to win. That's what you just did. So get your game face on. If you have a system like that, you're unstoppable. Hey, Kyle Boyer, I just bought PFC costume for you. I'll transfer it to your name. I just want to make sure.
Yes. Kyle Boyer, I love Renita on the Facebook Live, getting URLs with the phone. That's what we're talking about. Multitasking. And then built upon what you said, Renita, then what you'll see is the people who join will become part of your culture and community. Right. And now you're building your brand, and it's beyond. Remember, Zen Project 8, Jeunesse, it's beyond that. I see Bev. What I love about Bev here, Bev Lynn Oliva from Canada, she always loves the training, because what she says is this training is not just for network marketing. It's not just for Zen Project 8. We do these weekly training for you to help you grow as a person, as an entrepreneur. Now, we know we're in partnership together. But you're more than just Zen Project 8. I'm more than just Zen Project. You're more than just Jeunesse. You have a brand and a message. And then what's great about what we're doing with Zen Project 8 and Jeunesse is we can change the world with that. And it allows you, because make sure that you're fulfilling everything you want to do in this world, 1 step at a time, 1% as always. Okay, Renita, I love it. You're buying URLs during the webcast. You beat me on that. Like I can't even do that. I'm having a hard time just seeing this. So let me, before we leave, let's see if there's any questions. I love Amy Cochran says she's a brand. Kayla Green, she's a brand. Lisa Walsh is a brand. Bev's a brand. Marcia's a brand. Jesus is a brand. Kathleen is a brand. Kathleen Paredes and Brian Paredes, we did a feature on them. They built a massive community, starting with one. Janelle Butler's a brand. Carla's a brand. Gail Peters is a brand. So Angela's a brand. The thing is this, we're all brands.
Yeah.
So, you know, Michelle Nolan's a brand. Do the homework this week. Realize that we have another one. Now, next week, can you do the day before 4th of July, Renita, on Monday?
What day is that? Yeah, I'm going to be down in Sedona, Arizona, but I can do it.
Let's do it because then I'm going camping. But so we can look at next Monday night. So we'll see. Well, I'm going to check the attendance because it's the day before 4th of July. So we'll see who's on it. Maybe Renita will do a video, but we'll see. But just know, if I'm traveling, we're still going to continue. Whether it's that 1 week, we might have to skip a week. But just know every single week we're doing our best to share cutting edge content. This week is about developing your brand. Love you guys. Thank you for being part of a movement. And get ready. We're almost in July. And we have some massive stuff coming for the U.S. in New Jersey and in August. And everyone in New Jersey in August, Renita, are you going to any of those? Which one?
Yeah, I gotta look at my calendar, which one works out the best. But yeah, we're fired up for them. Very fun.
We're doing a workout. We're bringing back the workouts on Saturday morning. So if you're going to one of them, Renita, whatever one you go to, you do it with me. If you're part of ZP, I know Sharon McCann's, Kathleen, Michelle Nolan, if you're a health professional and you want to help out on the workout, we are doing workouts. We're partnering with Jeunesse Kids, and we're actually doing a charity event for New Jersey and for Anaheim. So if you're ready to get your sweat on, we're doing it on both of those events at the university in the morning, Saturday morning. So get ready.
Awesome.
Like the olden days, Renita.
Oh man, bringing it back, baby. Bringing it back.
Just beginning. Okay, love you guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Hey, in honor of the Italians, ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.